Okay, so today's project is going to be all about comfort. The front of this vehicle is excellent at soaking up the bumps, but the back end, I mean, seriously, it gets air off the ground before it'll ever actually dampen anything. And so we need to fix that. Now, the first thing I thought of was just shackle relocation brackets, but the problem is that if you want to do that, it'll actually raise your vehicle another 1.5 inches. And that's just not ideal, because if I raise, my official measurements are 3.5 in the front and 4.5 in the back. I already measured. If I raise the back another 1.5 inches, the front is going to have to be raised up at least 1 inch. And then I'm going to need new tires and etc, etc. So instead of making this an expensive project, let's try to work with what we have. A couple of things you can do. The first thing I'm going to try is removing the rear sway bar. I'm actually just going to disconnect it and then hang it up to start with. See how that helps. If that doesn't do much, this helper leaf, the very bottom leaf, so that is a shim at the very bottom, then there's this helper leaf, and then there's all the regular leaves up here. So I'm going to remove this leaf, and that should improve the ride, because my angles actually aren't, I mean, they're not great, but they're not terrible either. Man, that thing needs to be lubricated. Look how crusty it is. So, gonna start with this. Okay. So, the bolt I have this on is the one that needs to come off to disconnect this. I'm gonna try to do it this way without taking the tire off, if it'll cooperate, which it looks like it is. Put this down here on the axle. There we go. Didn't even need any PB Blaster. So that's what we just disconnected down there. It looks like the whole thing's just going to have to come out. So we're now working on these up here. Okay, so had to take this wheel to finagle it out. I ended up being able to get them out from here. Just fought with them a little bit and they came out. So there's your stock rear sway bar. And here are these very old bushings. Old, but still functioning apparently. So, I guess we gotta put the tire on and see if that helped anything, huh? I don't know. I don't see how that could have been the problem, but, you know, might as well try before I remove a leaf and reduce my load capacity, huh? Alrighty. Let's bolt that thing back on, huh? Okay, so to pull that bottom leaf, we have to get the axle off of the spring. So these U-bolts, I'm out of breath because I just cracked them all, have to come undone. And obviously you have to have the vehicle jacked up by the unibody. I don't have a lot of room to work with, but it should be enough to get the job done. This is a very time-consuming process. So, what the hell was I just doing? Cutting U-bolts. All 4 of them were so stuck they bent. All 4. 7-month-old U-bolts that were rusted stuck. And I've taken them off once since then to put in the shims, so they've moved in the course of the 7 months. Absolutely insane. So I got some, this project turned out to be a huge pain in the ass, but anyway. Got some different U-bolts. Some lady at a local store out where I live happened to have some that fit. So I got really fucking lucky. Otherwise I was going to be out because the place that makes custom U-bolts was, next time I would be able to get over there was Monday. So, and it is Wednesday of the, so anyway, so these are off. Now we're going to lower this down. I'm going to try to do it with the shock on. Last time I just took them off, but I'm going to see what happens if I just lower it now. Interesting. One side went down, the other did not. I think something's stuck. Gonna play with it a little bit, but that's what you want to do right there. Okay, so everything came down. I did have to take the shocks off. Newest problem though, the little centering pins for the leaf springs snapped. And let me tell you, these are not, they're maybe 5 months old. These, not even, these haven't seen a winter. I put these on in the spring. So they're only a few months old. Iron Rock Off-Road, you're disappointing me. So, anyway, I don't want to put some regular bolt from a hardware store, and I want this with a proper rounded bottom. I just don't trust that it's suspension. So, looks like it's out of commission. It's going to be a couple of days, so I'm going to order the pieces tomorrow. They'll be in tomorrow, but it's going to rain tomorrow, so Friday. So, see you in a couple of days. We'll finish this bad boy up. Okay, it is a few days later. This ridiculously long center bolt goes through the that goes to the leaf springs. Fits through the leaf spring. It's a little small through here, so I'll have to drill that out. But the biggest problem is the casted part of the axle. This is the smallest width that they had available at the at the store, and in order to get something different, I would have to get up at ass crack of dawn on Monday and go and get it. Yeah, because they have very the place that makes these custom has very inconvenient hours. This is also just a hair big here. So I'm thinking, because these were so cheap, I bought 2 of these for $8. I'm just going to put it in a vise and try to grind this down. Oh my god, this camera does not want to focus. Come on. And just try to grind this down. I don't know, whatever. I'll put it on the ground. So, grind down the width of this just a little bit, and then just drill this out just a little bit in here, and then we should be good to go to put this all back together. Alright, this is shim number 2. Check that out. It fits! Feel free to leave your best joke in the comments. Okay, so trying to think about the best way to get this all positioned and ready to go. I think I'm gonna, so I just kind of tighten this down very lightly. This is everything except for the helper leaf. So I think I'm going to do the same to the other side and then maybe squish them down just a bit and then deal with the axle and see what happens. Alright, so time to align everything up and then get to wrenching. Okay, we're back out here again. I ran out of daylight. Starting to get dark real fast this time of year, so here's where I left off. I'm forgetting about the shocks for now. I started to connect them and forget it right now. I have another issue. I was starting to jack the axle up to put weight on these springs and then get everything settled in here and tightened down. But the axle's just stuck pivoted forward and it doesn't want to adjust. Like it was lifting the truck and not rolling back onto itself. So what I'm gonna do, because problem is I can't use this to press it into place because look at the bolts, there's just so much room. So I'm going to put this little bottle jack here under the front here, and then as I jack up the back, I'll just keep adjusting this so it keeps pivoted and it stays pivoted in the right direction here. So that's what I'm starting with. There we go. So far so good. So put it up a little bit high, and then I'll jack up the front here. See how this goes. Okay. Now I just have to get that pin in where it's supposed to be. It should be just a wiggling process. Well, that went relatively painless. Right now I'm just tightening this spring down the rest of the way. We'll do it one side at a time here. I just want to get one U-bolt on before I play around with the other side and end up screwing something up. So try to get this side roughly into place and then, oh, game popped off again. See? Ah well. I guess it was the wrong choice to leave these a little loose. I guess I'll tighten them real tight before I try to reconnect anything. Okay, so that's together. And yeah, these are different U-bolts. I mismeasured with these. They're just a hair small in the bottom here, and I tried to stretch them, but they just wouldn't work. So I sourced these out. It was a pain in the ass. I had to go to multiple places, but they're in. So that's one side done. The other I have to do a whole bunch to now. Well, as if this project couldn't get any more obnoxious and go any more wrong. So I opened the box with the other set of U-bolts in it, and the actual nuts were missing. Thankfully, I haven't returned those other U-bolts yet because they're closed for the weekend, and thankfully the threads are the same, so these are going to work. Really, really obnoxious. But that side's done. That's all together there. Just got to do this one. Fun times, my friends. Fun times. So, yeah. Just cranking away. So lucky these worked. Definitely putting that your sway back in. I do not trust it with the loss of these leaves. I'm actually really banking on this working out too, because this was a lot of work. Anyway, gonna keep going. Well, ride's amazing. Absolutely amazing. So much smoother. I haven't taken it on the highway yet, but I did a slalom at 40 and it held pretty sturdy, so I suspect we're going to be all set. Whew. There were bumps that used to hurt before that I can't even feel anymore. That little, all because of that one leaf. All from that. And it doesn't sag, the ride isn't lower, it's not sloppy. It just rides as it should. It rides like stock. Anyway, I gotta get to finish cleaning this up, so that's all. I did put my sway bar back in, so I would highly recommend you do so as well if you do this job. See you guys later.